Well,
All right. So as we talked in the 6 o'clock hour, we were watching the Sheamus and Ricochet pre-match, and I got to ask you this because I don't watch. Has Ricochet even been on Raw?
he has. I haven't seen Ricochet on Raw in I think at least a month.
And
Really,
he gets a title shot based on what he does on main event, right?
it's ridiculous. It's like certain guys that are supposed to. You would think Ricochet would be getting. It's not that they broke up his tag team that he had with Cedric Alexander, and then they had moved Cedric Alexander into the Hurt Business, which subsequently was broken up. Also, they had nothing with Ricochet at all since the breakup. He's had a couple of matches here and there. He had a pseudo feud with Revolution or Reaction or whatever the heck the stable has become, which dissolved eventually. And then he just disappeared. So I don't know what they were doing.
You can't make sense of anything they do. I mean, the fact is, if you're going to build him to have this match, you're basically saying nobody cares about the pre-show because we're not going to tell you why he's even getting a title shot, which is essentially what AEW does with their dark and their elevation. And you're like, wait, a guy won 10 matches in a row? I haven't seen him in a month. What does that mean?
Yeah. Even more so, it goes to show you that they don't actually care about the United States Championship as much as they once did. Also, they went out of their way when Lashley had the championship, and then when he lost the belt, basically to push him into the main event uh, push that they gave him as eventually being champion. That United States Championship on first on Riddle. I don't know why they don't use his full name, but that's the WWE. That's Vince's pet peeve. But going from there and then putting the belt on Sheamus, you'd think with the push that they gave Sheamus, they would put him on the pay per view. At least build the card. At least I would. What I would actually do is at least build to the pre-show. They don't even do that. If you're gonna have a pay per view and you're gonna say go watch on YouTube or go watch on the network or go watch here or there to see the pre-show, we're gonna have a title match on the pre-show. You think you'd advertise that? That makes perfect sense.
Right.
But
What's
what
the
do I
point
know?
of the match? There's no point to the match if you don't even care
Exactly.
about it. Why would
Exactly.
anyone care about it if you don't care about it?
Exactly. And that's the problem with having a pre-show. If you don't years and years ago, and we've talked about this before, how when WrestleMania would come on or any other major pay-per-view, any pay-per-view in general, there used to be a pre-recorded show to kind of hype the pay-per-view. These matches are going to be here, these matches are going to be there. And if they're going to do like a pre-show, they would at least tell you they're going to be at least two matches that you can watch so that you can get a feel for how the pay-per-view is going to be. They don't even do that. And if they don't care about the actual matches that are going to be there or the talent that's supposed to be there in general, with the gobs of talent that they tried to sign and keep, why would, as you, Joe Q Public, care for what they're giving you? Makes no sense.
Well, I guess they figure not many people are watching at that point anyway, because let's be honest, it's hard to watch those talking heads on the pre-show. I mean, it's just like, oh, goodness. I mean, you occasionally get a good point, but for the most part, you don't need to see it.
Yeah, it's not the same way it used to be. They used to be able to give you interviews with the talent that's actually in the match, going, warming up, etc. It's not the same thing.
So Ricochet was in jeans, which also makes no sense. Is he trying to be Orange Cassidy with the jeans? I don't know.
He's only
And
missing with
basically,
sunglasses.
and to no surprise, it was thanks for coming, Ricochet. You did
Yes.
the job.
Yes. This was nothing more than a glorified WWE main event. Main event.
That's what
It's
it
a,
was.
yeah,
Right.
I mean, if you
It's
want to
like,
make it sound a little redundant, but that was
yeah.
literally what it was.
And then we talk about the show itself having only 6 matches on the main card, and you're like, you could have thrown this on for the 6 minutes it got. I mean, we'll talk about match length later, but this match had more than enough room on that show. Let's be
Oh,
fair.
yeah, this could have been the whole pre-show. Let's really be honest.
All right, let's get into the first match now.